What's up, you guys? Today is going to be my best of drugstore video. I love my drugstore products. If you've watched any of my videos, then you probably know that by now. They are some of my favorites out of like anything. I mean, I use a lot of high-end products, but I just love me some good drugstore deals. I have my like CVS card like locked and loaded with coupons all the time. I'm constantly in and out of the drugstore seeing what's new. So I'd say I'm pretty educated on drugstore products, and these are going to be like my best of the best that I use all the time in kind of like categories. So I don't want this video to be a million years long. I'm not going to go super into detail every single product because I have multiples for each category. So I'm just going to kind of like lightly touch on them and move on through. So before this video gets to be like 50 minutes long, I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to start out with foundations because I've never really found a drugstore primer that I'm like super crazy about. So I'm just going to jump straight into the first thing that I would like apply on my face, which is going to be my foundations. I have 3 to talk about. The first is going to be my e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. This is just a ride or die for me. If you have oily skin, if you are trying to make your makeup last all day long, your foundation last all day long, this is a great one to do the job. It does have salicylic acid in it, so it helps kind of like fight foundation while you're wearing it. I just really love this. The color selection is not the best on this, at least in stores. I had never bought it offline before, so maybe online there's more options, but I'll leave a link to buy it online below. But I just really, really love this. It's super long wearing, like I said, and yeah, I just really love this product. It's like one of my favorites. I use it almost on a daily basis very often. Next is going to be one that I feel like is pretty comparable. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have mine in the shade Cream Beige. I really love this a lot. I will say this is probably the most full coverage out of the 3 that I'm going to be mentioning. I feel like this is just super full coverage. It is a little thick on the skin, I will say, probably out of the 3 that I'm mentioning, but it is like glue to your skin. It does not move. It's not going anywhere. I've worn this on like 12-hour shifts before and gotten home, and my makeup is still great. This is going to be really great for people with oily skin. I don't have super oily skin. I have like combo, but I do find when I'm trying to, like I said, work a shift where it's going to be like really long, I want to wear something like this where I know it's going to last, and this is a ride or die for me. I use it all the freaking time. And lastly, probably my favorite out of all 3 is going to be the No. 7 Stay Perfect Foundation. I really love this. It's going to be like more of a medium coverage. You can build it up a little bit. I don't think it would ever reach full coverage, but this just has the most beautiful finish on, I would almost say, on any foundation I've ever found in my whole life. I love this stuff so much. I know Kathleen Lights likes the other foundation. It looks very similar to this, but has like a blue lid or like a blue ring around the lid. Forget what that one's called. I actually own that one too, but I don't like it as much as this one. I just feel like this has the most beautiful kind of like satin, natural, like your skin but better appearance out of all of the foundations I own. And it also has really great undertones. This is not like, for me, I'm more of like a neutral undertone, and it's not too orange and it's not too yellowy. Like, it just has such a nice undertone for me. It's probably like my closest to like my actual skin tone that I have out of all my foundations. So I love this one so much. I love this. It's one of my favorite things in my whole collection. Next, moving on right along, I'm going to be mentioning a couple concealers. The first is going to be the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. This is going to be great for brightening your skin up. I love using this in like the T-zone. It has a really nice kind of like yellowy undertone for that really like bright appearance. It has more of like a medium coverage. I'm not going to say this is going to be like a full coverage as much as some of my other concealers, but I really love this for brightening. It's really creamy and it blends out super easy. Next is going to be the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. I love this stuff so much. I go through it like crazy. The only thing, mine is broken. The only thing I will mention on this is I find I go through these very quickly. It only has, what is it, 0.11 ounces, so it's a smaller amount that's in here. But the shade range is really great on this, and this has more of kind of like a full, this has more of a full coverage style to it. I feel like this is very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. However, this, like the applicator and the way this goes on, you kind of have to build it up a lot more than the Shape Tape, but once you get it kind of like built up and you blend it out, I find that this is very comparable to that. Super creamy and way more full coverage. I really love this a lot. All right, now two powders that I love. This one is already a mess. It's my Wet n Wild pressed powder, Photo Focus pressed powder. Not much to say about this other than I just feel like everybody can love this. If you have dry skin, I feel like you'll like it. If you have really oily skin, I feel like you'd like it. Just use a little bit more. I feel like it makes your face just kind of look set, but it doesn't take away the finish of my foundations. Like when I wear this with my number 7 foundation, I feel like it just is so beautiful. Like it takes the dewiness down just a tiny bit, but it still leaves that like natural kind of look to the skin. And I love this powder. I don't have anything really negative to say about it. I just think it's such a good product for so cheap. Next is going to be my NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana. This is one of my favorite finishing powders, especially for my under eyes and if you're trying to highlight your T-zone. That is what I use it for the most. I mean, if you wanted to set your whole face, it's a great finishing powder, and I think they do have it in a translucent shade, but this is how I love to set my under eyes. I use it almost every single day. It has that really, really beautiful kind of brightening shade, and I really notice a difference when I use this compared to like a just regular translucent powder. I find that it just really brightens my under eyes and keeps them like so soft. It feels like velvety almost under my eyes whenever I use this. So I really love this product. Next, going into bronzers, I only have one to mention because it is amazing. It is the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer. I am trying to find this in the shade like medium bronze because I only have it in light bronze, and during the summer this has been hard. I've had to like really build it up to try and get the color that I want, but this stuff is just amazing. It smells like coconuts and vacation. It's beautiful, and yeah, there's not a lot to say about it other than it's just such a great product. I feel like everybody knows it at this point. It's all over the internet. It's a great bronzer. Now on to blush. I only have one of those as well, and it's going to be my Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso 05. Just the most beautiful blush. It's the one that I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. It's such a beautiful color on everybody. I've used this when I've done people's makeup before on dark skin shades, light skin shades. It's just a beautiful undertone, and it has a little bit of shimmer to it, so it makes you look nice and healthy, but not too like glittery, and it's just beautiful. I love this blush so, so much. I've been using this for years. This is probably like the 4th one in my collection that I bought, so I can definitely recommend this one. I love it. Next are two highlighters. The first one, and forgive me because this is so old, you can see I have used the crap out of it, but it is the Physician Formula Shimmer Strips in Vegas Strip Light Bronze. I think this is technically supposed to be kind of like a bronzer, but it's way too shimmery for that. This has the most beautiful kind of, like in the summertime when I wear this, it is my favorite. I bring this with me when I have a tan ever because it just has that most, am I talking right now? I feel like I'm just like rambling. I don't know. I feel like it just has the most beautiful like golden sheen to it without being too aggressively gold, if you know what I mean. Like I love some of my ColourPop highlights, but they are very like aggressively, not all of them, but like the gold kind of like shades are like aggressive. Like this has kind of like a your skin but better like J.Lo glow to it, and I just absolutely love this. It is such a beautiful highlight. Maybe my favorite out of like all my highlights I've ever bought. Maybe. That's a lot to say, but I've owned a few of these and I always go back to it if I'm ever just like, I don't know what like highlight I want to wear today. It's always this one that I go to. Second one is going to be the Wet n Wild To Reflect Shimmer Palette in, I always forget the name of this. I will insert it. I can't believe that I forget Boozy Brunch, because they changed the name. I always say that, but like it used to be the Fergie collection and they changed it to Boozy Brunch. So that's what it is called now. I love this stuff so much. It's almost like the last one, like I said. I like both of these more for when I have a tan, I'm not gonna lie, but obviously we're coming out of summertime. I've had a tan for a while and I use a lot of self-tanner, so these are kind of my go-to that I always pick up. This one I feel like is a little bit more intense than the Physician Formula one, so if you're looking for more of like an in-your-face highlight, it's the one I'm actually wearing today on my cheeks. It does have that nice kind of like champagne-y tan undertone that I think just looks beautiful when you have like a little bit of a bronze skin. So yes, this is one that I go to all the freaking time and has been a ride or die for me for years. This is my 3rd one that I have, I think, in my collection. It might be the 2nd or 3rd, but I've used this multiple times. Now onto eyeshadow palettes. This is really hard for me because I do use more high-end eyeshadow palettes for the most part, but I'm going to mention two. The first one is going to be any of these like Wet n Wild like 8 eyeshadows. I own 2 of these. This is my favorite out of the ones that I own. I know that some of these I think I've heard are not as good as others, so I would maybe be careful when buying them, but this to me is a really great starter eyeshadow palette. Like if you are like in high school and you don't want to spend more than like 10 bucks on an eyeshadow palette, this is a really great one. It is all kind of shimmery, but if you really wanted to work with it, you could kind of create a smoky eye with it, so it does give you a lot of colors to work with. This like champagne-y color is like one of my favorites to put all over my lid. I love it a lot. And this is in Comfort Zone, I think is the name of this. Yeah, Comfort Zone. So this is a really good option, even though, like I said, I think you have to be careful because some of these aren't as good as other ones, from what I've heard at least. And the second one I want to mention is my Morphe 25A Copper Spice palette. I'm forgetting. Copper Spice. Pretty sure it's Copper Spice, but it's the 25A palette from Morphe. I love this palette. I believe this was only $22, or it might have been like $18, I think, with the discount that I put in. They always have discounts running, so find yourself a discount if you're shopping on Morphe. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. But this is just such a, like, if you want just a palette that you, like, you don't do any kind of colors really ever, like you're not one to use like teals or like greens or anything, get yourself this palette. If you just want a neutral palette, this one's so beautiful. It's the one that I have all over my eyes right now. I don't have anything else going on in my eyes except for this palette. It has mattes, it has shimmers, it has some like bronzy, it has some like reds. It just has everything you need. So if you're looking for like a really basic palette, I know this is like a little bit more expensive than maybe you would say drugstore, but for all of the eyeshadow palettes, or for all of the palettes, for all of the shades that you're getting in this, I just think it's a great deal. It's unbeatable. I mean, the Wet n Wild one has like 8, and it's, I want to say it's like $10, so you're getting a great deal with this. Spend a couple like extra dollars and just get all of these options, and it's really, really good. Next, I want to talk about 2 mascaras. The first, I'm not even going to talk about it a lot because I've only been talking about it on my channel recently, is the Kokie Volume and Length. Price is perfect. It is a beautiful mascara. It gives volume, it gets length, exactly like it says on the tube. It's just such a good product. Not a lot to say other than go get yourself this if you have not tried it. It is so good. The second is the Essence Lash Princess. I love this thing to death. The price is freaking right on this. I want to say it's $2.99 or $3.99, but before I found my Kokie, this was my go-to. This was all I used. I just really, really love this. It's more of a volumizing, I find, but it does give some length as well. Black. Perfect. Love this mascara. If you're wanting to spend next to nothing, then get yourself this. For my eyeliner, I always love, I just have my white one, but I use it in black too. It's the Wet n Wild On Edge Long Wear Eye Pencil. This stuff is amazing. I want to say it's only like $3.99. It won't say that it stays like all day on my waterline. I will have to reapply this every once in a while when I'm wearing it, but for the price, I just think it is so creamy. It goes on like jet black. It's really easy to smudge out if you're trying to do that, so really, really love this eye pencil. For my eyebrows, gotta do the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I just love this stuff so much. It is so comparable to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It is just almost exactly the same to me. I don't even see much of a difference, and this is only $10 compared to the $16 or $18 that the Anastasia one is, so love this one so much. Such a good product for such a good price. And finally, to wrap this video up, I'm kind of like jumping through it because I don't want this to be but so long of a video. I'm going to talk about my ColourPop matte liquid lipsticks. These things are beautiful. This is just a couple colors. I have like 4 more upstairs. I love these things so much. They are very drying, but when I wear these, they just stay on my lips all day long. They are $5 a piece, so for the price, I just feel like you can't beat these. I do love the Wet n Wild liquid lips, like the Catsuit Mega Lipsticks. Mega liquid lipsticks. I forget the exact name of them. It's a long one. But I do love those as well. But if I had to choose one, these have just been my ride or die. I've bought these over and over and over again, and I just love the color selection, and everything about ColourPop is, they're good. They are good. So I really love these liquid lipsticks, and yeah, if I had to choose one out of all my drugstore collection, it probably would be the ColourPop ones. So that is all for today. Sorry if this video seems a little rushed. Like I said, I'm trying to just get through it because I knew there were so many products, and I can sit here and talk about all of them over and over again because these are like my ride or die drugstore products and I love them so much. So I'm just trying to like get on through them and just give a little couple talking points on them. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to me so you can see more of my videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye guys.